right, so let's just get started. How about you tell us a little bit about your character on the show?
I play a character named Taka. He's a detective he's on the NYPD force. And he's a broken down character who is, they call him the Hunch, and he's good at solving different things that he takes clues from things that most people wouldn't take clues from, and part of that comes from my dreams.
What is it like working on the show?
It's probably the most difficult show I've ever been on in terms of just the character arc and keeping up with, like say if you do a procedural show, like a normal show that's, crime of the week, usually those shows are pretty much the same show every week in essence. This show, everything you do in a certain scene will affect the next scene. So it's constantly having to map out the scene in your head and making sure that you keep in line with the story arc is pretty hard.
So what should fans expect from this show? Like, what should they be looking for? Like, what kind of show is it?
It's one of those shows where, the first episode kind of introduces us into the world, and once you start getting into the second episode, then the train starts moving, and there's really nothing out there that's made like this in terms of what I've seen from television. So it's a show you have to pay attention to. It's really smart. It treats the audience as if we're smart, and it's just it's like how to explain it? It's people make the comparison to Inception, but we have 10 hours and we walk into a different side of the line, and it's at times it just feels like dreams on crack, and it's like just a lot of interesting, weird things that happen in the show.
How do you, as an actor, go about choosing a role? Is there something that really seduces you about this kind of role, and how do you prepare? Is there a routine that you go through every morning?
No, you mean to prepare to shoot the show?
For Falling Water, and in general, as an actor.
This was a really difficult one. It was just because there's so much homework involved in getting to, one, know the character and what was inside our creator's mind and trying to execute that. And, it's just trying to decipher. It's like you going, what does your dreams look like, and how does that affect you in the real world? Is like, as an actor, I would have to think, there are times like if you had a dream and you start talking to somebody and then all of a sudden you turn around and that same person you were talking to turns into a dog, it's like, how do you react as an actor in those situations? Like, how do we dream? And so that was a difficult part. Like, I don't know if there was something like in real life, if you saw like...
You mean like a lucid dreaming kind of thing?
Yeah, but at the same time it's like in real life, if this building exploded, and we would all freak out. But in a dream, sometimes things explode, and you just keep having a normal conversation with, And that was deciphering when to play moments in heightened reality as an actor on television. That was the part that we had to, thread the needle on.
You bring up an interesting comment actually, because when you say like, a building will explode and you can keep the conversation going. Since you know that a lot of the stage kind of stuff ends up being CGI or post-processing. Mm-hmm. What kind of goes into acting in front of a green screen when something's happening but it's not really happening right in front of you? You have to immerse yourself.
I can say like one of our very last episodes, it wasn't so much a lot of green screen, but it was a lot of things that they would tell us would be added in post, and so we just had to guess. And you pray that you make the right guess, and you have the director and you have the creator Blake Masters there to kind of tell you exactly what we're seeing. So you just kind of have to have faith.
Is it distracting, or do you adapt very quickly?
I think I've gotten used to it. That's when true make believe I think comes into play, because it's like, there's a scene where all these things start coming at you, and he's the director's telling us this is what's coming at you, so at least you're in the moment and you can try to find those beats. But I'm always surprised when I see the actual final product, because they always make it cooler than it was.
So was there a big difference between filming sequences in the dreams and filming sequences out of them?
I think that's part of our show, was to ground it in reality and how we as humans would react into it in a certain dream. But there are certain fantastical things happening inside some of our dream sequences, but we don't react to them as if they're fantastical in a lot of scenes. And that was interesting, because when I dream and something fantastical happens, it's kind of just like for my dog to start talking to me and I don't really react to it. That's kind of the way the show operates.
Do you ever feel you practice any kind of lucid, dreaming, forcefully in order to prepare for the show, like a method acting kind of thing? Or,
not so. I mean, it was weird because I think I had read the script 100 times over, and I was researching this character, and I would go back into my memories with trying to associate the mother in the story and my personal life. It just forced me. I think it just happened when I was shooting the show that I dreamed more in line with what was happening with the show. It was weird.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.